Hi, as you know, I've been doing a series on walking in the Spirit, and this is probably video 4, part 4. And as I was praying and meditating on exactly what I'm teaching, I like visual, and I guess you can see by me doing stuff with my hands. I talk with my hands a lot. Well, I found a way to explain to you or to demonstrate to you what it's like to walk in the Spirit. And for those of you that have tried and failed to walk in the Spirit, you kind of have a go, and then the pressures of the world collapse on you, your circumstances start screaming at you, and then you end up reverting back to living out of the soul realm, as we discussed previously. My suggestion is don't quit. Do not quit, because God wants us all to walk in the Spirit. He wants us to walk in step with Him. When I was in the Air Force many years ago, one of the things we had to learn to do was march. And I tell you what, if you ever see a group of men get together and try to march in unison for the first time, it's funny. Maybe there's a video on it on YouTube, I don't know. But anyway, after somewhat practice, quite a lot of practice, you become a unit, and so it just the cadences when the heels go. When you hear the heels of 20, 30, 50 men hit the ground instantaneously, simultaneously, it's quite an impressive sound. So practicing to walk in the Spirit is just like that. We need to learn to listen to the Spirit, His cadence, and walk with Him, and be led by the Spirit and not by the flesh. Again, referring to the flesh. So I hope this little example, this illustration, you'll find it helpful. It certainly has opened my eyes to a little bit. So here we go. This is a honing thing for sharpening knives. Now, when we're trying to walk in the Spirit, this is what's actually happening. We're working out how to walk in the Spirit, and it's like balancing the sharpener. And we try again, and we do it for a little while, and we do it okay, and then we fail. But then we keep trying, and then we're walking in the Spirit, and we're doing really well for a little while. And guess what happens? That's the flesh. That's the default position. We'll fall back into living in the flesh as opposed to living in the Spirit. Now, I'm not very good at balancing this thing, but if I was to keep practicing and practicing, eventually I reckon I could sit there and hold this thing perfectly upright and maybe even talk to you and keep it upright. And so it is with walking in the Spirit. We try and try and try to walk in the Spirit, but we end up falling back and living in the old sinful nature. So I hope that helps you, and don't stop, don't quit, don't stop trying. So, did that help? It really does explain where we are. Our default position is sin. We fall back into sin. We fall back into our nature, our fleshly nature. And it's easy for us to try and work things out and try to make things work on our own. And this is where we always chase after methods and steps and the procedures, and we all want to have a plan and a guide, and if we do this and this, we're going to have this as a result. And it all sounds good to the mind, but the Spirit doesn't work that way, because even just take example for healing, you can go to all the doctors, all the medicines, and all the surgery, and you can do all of that and still have no solution, no healing, no total recovery from what you're experiencing. Whereas in God, miracles happen, and the supernatural just blows away everything. So that's what it's like to live in the Spirit, is we can think that we can do it on our own, in our own strength, but the truth is that we can only gain a certain limited amount of success. But in God, mate, you can have more than a limited amount of success. So I'll finish with that. I just wanted to encourage you and give you an idea as to why walking in the Spirit seems to be so difficult, but I do promise you it gets easier. Bless you, and I'll see you in the next video.